part of you that kind of remembers that? See, when we are 1 or 2 years old, you know, we don't have an ego yet. It starts building about 3 years of age or so, when we say, this is mine. But there's no ego. Sometimes we're not even in touch with the body as yet. That's why in the beginning we bump into things, you see. And there is that moment when we just see life in a different way. We're not conscious, we're not self-conscious yet. So there is that aware space. And then we lose it. The more immersed in the world, the more we immersed ourselves in remembering a particular experience, then of course we think we are that experience. And we become experiencer. With the moment when you become an experiencer, you're caught now. You're caught in the dream called memory. You see? That doesn't mean it didn't happen, but you make it so real that you begin to live it. Now most people, if they have had a traumatic experience, for example, and I've had that in my sessions, they've had a traumatic experience 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when they were children, they still live it now. In reaction, in thinking, in fear of rejection, in paranoia, it's still there. You see, because it knows no time. And that's the funny thing about memory, is that memory comes out as an emotion in the body. It's locked in the body. You see? And there's a sleep and a forgetting of what's happened, but you still react. You still react and you still act as if it is happening now. Hate, revenge, resentment can stay for a whole lifetime if we do not wake up. See, because waking up means no longer attachment to memory. And the reason you don't remain attached is when you begin to see that memory is just memory. It's no good or bad. It's your mind that made it good or bad. It's just happened what happened because it's what happened. We go through experiences in life. Some bad, some good, but those are experiences. And ultimately, when we talk about oneness, and that's what we're focusing on this evening, everything is one. Everything is one. Take the most horrendous fear you've ever experienced, and take the greatest love you've ever experienced, and then be still. Become still with the fear. And you'll find, if you allow it in your body, if you allow it totally, and be centered in it, it comes out the same as that love. See, emptiness is fullness. Why? Because being, or the is, has no opposite. See, there's no opposite to it. And because there's no opposite, it does not know the difference between love or fear, terror or heavenly. It knows no difference. Oneness knows no difference. Oneness is. It is only the mind that makes it so. This happened to me. But if there is no me, you see, because you realize your oneness, then it's just another experience. And that experience is always quality less. And quality less is always love. It's always blissful. It's always joy. Because it has no quality. So therefore, when you take everything, like many people are afraid, but if I were to go beyond everything I know, everything I remember, that doesn't mean you get rid of it, of course not. If I go beyond everything that I've gone through in life, and I am nothing at the moment, then what? I'm scared. I am empty. But stay with that emptiness. And then you'll find who you are. But you see, that's the courage. That Course in Miracles says that if you come with empty hands and experience that moment, the Holy Spirit will come into you. You see? What that meant is that if you allow emptiness to be totally present, and you stay with it, don't escape it, then you experience that emptiness was never what you thought it was. It was love itself. You see? A love that defies or transcends a limited idea of self. You find yourself one self. I was just reading a story just a while ago before I came out. I just read it to Sylvia. There was a soldier, and he was sentenced to die. And as he was taken on a cart to be shot, he knew that this is the last experience he's going to have on earth. And for some reason or other, he accepted the fact that he's going to die. And everything, just the way I read it to you, he experienced everything as would beyond time and space. It was so beautiful, so grand. You know, all fear of death just went away, and he felt so like he's never felt in his life, because he's accepted his own death, you see. There was this incredible, beautiful experience. Well then, at the last moment, who was it, the president or... The one in charge. Was that?
Usually a governor.
The governor, I guess. That was the governor, was it? Yeah. Yeah, they stayed the yeah. Anyway, I forget now. And they pardoned him. Okay? Mm-hmm. Well, now what happened? Within 2 years, he died an alcoholic.
Oh, dear.
Why? Because he wanted to relive the experience again. And he brought the ego into it. See, at the moment when he expected his death, he transcended the me part. He transcended the limitation. And he experienced the oneness, which was so euphoric. Now, when he was given life, you see, which at that moment says, hooray, you see. But a few moments later, he wasn't feeling that good anymore, because he went back to his ego. Time came back into the picture, and he lost the experience because he tried to regain it as a personal experience. And he suffered because he couldn't get it back. And so he started to drink, because he felt if he can forget himself, he can relive it. And he died a drunk 2 years later.
Escaping into alcohol.
Escaping into alcohol. And you cannot escape yourself. There's only one self. You see? You cannot escape. There's no way that you can escape. Escape is impossible, because wherever you go, there you are. Guess what? You see? You always take yourself with you. Your thoughts, your experiences, your past, your memory, everything.